Sir, a missile launch has been detected in South Pyongyang province.
Projected target?
Target projected at Japan.
How to play Atomic. Capturing a piece leads to an explosion that affects every adjacent piece except pawns. Pawns do not explode, every other piece does. Kings can't make captures because they would explode too. And kings can also go to squares right next to the enemy king. That's new. And players can ignore a check if they can explode the opponent's king. What? We're gonna have to figure out in practice how does this work. Let's see. Atomic Chess Blackfern, I'm accepting your challenge. I'm about to play Atomic Chess for the first time. I'm a chess international master, but I don't know how this chess variant works. So I'm a little bit worried. I'm gonna protect this pawn. Pawns don't explode, but I guess the knight would explode if we trade there. I'm for now on the side that developing is good. Wait. It said pawns don't explode, but will my king explode if that pawn is taken? Because that was my worry. What if you just attack the f2 or f7 pawns and make the king explode? Like, is my king about to explode? Because I have nowhere to go. If black takes here, will my king explode? Will my king explode? We're gonna have to figure it out, I guess, because I don't have anything to prevent it. Is this exploding my king? Well played, Blackfern. Well played, but it means if that's how it works, it means the first person to be able to attack this spot or this spot right next to the king wins. So if you play with the white pieces, e4, knight f6, if I were to play bishop to c4, you can block it. But what if I start with knight f3? You're gonna have to play f6 to not let me explode it. Let's try this out. We need new openings for Atomic Chess. Does anyone else want to play Atomic Chess? Accepting your challenge now, Gino. I'm gonna test out this. My idea, move the horsey here or here and then capture this. I'm going here. I guess you need to push it. If you push the pawn, I cannot capture it so your king doesn't explode. I think you need to push the f pawn. Yeah, okay. Now I understand. So I cannot explode the king. What happens if I take here? Oh, it shows. You move the mouse here and it shows. I'm winning material. I'm taking the rook. Bang! But the pawn didn't explode. All right, the pawn doesn't explode, but if you take the pawn, everything around it explodes. I need to be careful that my opponent cannot take here. So I'm just gonna push my pawn to e3. Solid. Solid. Wait, it was mate? I should have played knight f7, you mean? Oh, because the king cannot capture. Oh, you guys are right. I had mate. Well, not mate, but I had a win. If I move the knight here, of course, the king cannot take it because the king explodes, and I was threatening to take the queen. That will explode the king, so I was winning. Oh no, knight to f7, you guys are right. Knight f7 was winning. But then, so what are you supposed to do in Atomic Chess against knight f3? You need to push this pawn to not let the knight get there? This is so easy if white gets the knight there. Anyway, it's water under the bridge. This is the current position and I have 2 minutes. I have 2 minutes to try to make up for this. Let's move the bishop here. I mean, it doesn't really explode anything important, but... my opponent is playing this move because if I take... my queen 2 explodes, everything explodes. Bishop is gone, but my queen 2 will be gone. And if I move the bishop back here, that's a terrible move. Bishop takes bishop and my king explodes. I see. How about this move? Because pawns don't explode. The bishop will explode if you take. I'm trying to understand this game better. So far, not very well. Okay, my opponent is threatening to take this and explode all of these. Lots of pieces of mine would be gone. That's not good. If I come here, they both explode. So it's a bishop trade. I'm up material, but I guess in Atomic Chess that doesn't matter too much. King safety matters more. Oh, okay. My opponent wants to come here or here. This I don't mind. This I do mind because of my queen. Oh, no, 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 no. My queen, no. How do I prevent it? If I move the queen here, they will capture this and my queen explodes no matter what. I think I lost my queen. Or I need to push? I guess I can still push. Man, this is so scary. Atomic chess is difficult. Oh, okay, they won my rook now. Checks don't matter, right? But I can still move this because I'm threatening to take the king. Oh, wait. That's not a good move, is it? Because what if I play this? They take, the king explodes. Right? For once. Did I get this right? Because you cannot take, because then your king explodes, and if you move the king, I'll take anyway. I'll take something. Your king will explode next move. Gonna take here. Bang! Thank you for the game, Gino. Thank you. This is fun, but I'm still very confused. So apparently I missed the win earlier. I'm just gonna show what happened here at the start. So eventually after f6, you can move the knight to f7, because if the king takes it, you win. And if the king doesn't take it, you're taking the queen and you win. So knight f7 is a winning move, no matter what. Knight f7 wins. But then what is black supposed to do? This is too strong, you cannot let that happen. Do you need to move f6 first move just to prevent the knight from jumping to e5 or g5? Crazy! Is that what black is supposed to be doing? We're gonna figure it out in the next games, I guess. Hato, accepting your challenge now. Let's see how well can we explode each other's pieces. I'm gonna make this move. You're up next, Hato. You've got this. You've got this. Just push this pawn. Not that one, but... Oh, no, no, Hato, I don't think that works. I'm afraid that this doesn't work because I can move here and I'm about to explode your king. I don't think f5 works. I don't mean to trick you into this very strange thing with the horsey, that the knight can get out there and explode your king before I even develop any of my other pieces. We are learning that f6 had to be played. I didn't know it myself. Now everything will explode if I take here. Thank you for the game, Hato. So f6 is important because then when I move the knight there, you take it. You're gonna capture the knight before it makes it to where it's gonna explode your king. It's strange because in traditional chess, this is one of the worst moves you can play on move 1. f6 is something we always say, do not even touch that pawn. Do not touch that pawn in traditional chess. If you're a beginner and you don't know what opening you're playing, do not touch that pawn. In atomic chess, apparently best and only move. Now you can send the challenges. I'm gonna go with the cat picture this time. Okay, now we have it. Now we have the opening theory. Knight f3, f6. Okay, what other piece could make it to that square? I guess I could do this and try to get there with the bishop, although you will block me. Or bishop c4 and bishop f7. Ooh, that would be winning too, but if black is careful enough, they can stop me. This knight is heading toward g4 and then would explode my king. So I'm gonna stop it. This knight, so far... Oh, it could be dangerous here. It's such a weird thing. You need to play like these flank pawn pushes or this pawn push. Make sure that the knight doesn't get to your pieces. Knights are very dangerous. I feel like knight is the most dangerous in atomic chess. b6. I think it's time for me to threaten. to move here, because if the bishop is taken, then the king explodes. e6 is a good move, because if I take it, my bishop explodes, but nothing else. Pawns don't explode. Do I even castle, or does that help in atomic chess, or is my king more likely to explode here? I guess for now it would be okay to castle, but I can also just try to do the same as my opponent to get to the c7 pawn. Those knight jumps are scary. Oh, That's a good move. I like it. Clary, you are very creative because if I take it, my piece explodes and the bishop explodes. If I take with the bishop, my bishop explodes and this knight. I guess that's... I either move the bishop back or I take and reload. So we traded the knight and the bishop. That was creative to stop me from getting there with the knight. But now I'm threatening again. Now I'm threatening again. Kings are better with space around them. So actually, castling isn't that good in atomic chess because if you have your bodyguards, there are more pawns that can explode. Makes sense. Okay, c6 is stopping me. How about moving here? I'm not really threatening anything, am I? It's time to get my queen out. Maybe if the queen could make it somehow. That's a good move. My queen is no longer making it to any of these squares, and bishop e2 would be a move. I probably shouldn't have pushed my pawn to d4. Now I'm feeling like it would have been safer if it's on d3. At the same time, I shouldn't panic because it's okay. My king is not exploding just yet. This move I will not take, nor I will take this. Not touching that bishop, not touching it. It's threatening to explode all my king side though. So maybe I should just push this pawn. I shouldn't have let this bishop be so strong because it's pretty difficult to deal with it near your king. Is that queen threatening anything? Not yet, I think. Not yet. Developed bishop. I don't even know what I should do. This bishop is very difficult to deal with because I can never take it. Oh no, that's genius. Okay, I should block because if the queen was gonna get here, then I'm lost. That explodes my king. That's genius. Queen a6 to threaten queen e2. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so far so good. This would explode the queen itself. I don't have much time. I don't have much time. What am I supposed to do? Move the rook here. Does that do anything? If this is taken, we all explode. The queen is gone. My queen, I cannot move it here because then my queen explodes with everything. It's so passive. I cannot move neither the king nor the queen. This is a great move. I feel like it's restricting me so much. It's difficult. I don't know where that knight is going, so I'm just gonna attack it. Okay, those pieces are gone. Now at least I can move my queen. Bishop g2 would be a good move because it attacks my queen and the rook. But I'm gonna try to make it in a way that my queen somehow gets into the position. Maybe queen... How do I get to the king of my opponent? Not easy. How do I get there? I think this is... Oh! It wasn't played. I was gonna say bishop g2 was a good move. If this is taken, the queen explodes. So I don't need to defend the knight at least. I'm trying to get in here. That's my plan. This and this. Okay, in here? Think I'm good? Well, we trade. We trade though. I was like, am I winning? Maybe I should have played... I won on time. No, Clary, no! Just when it was so exciting! I thought you were doing so well, and even now I'm threatening these, but you can take my queen and then we both explode. It was just a queen trade. Maybe in hindsight actually it's better for me to place the queen here, but I'm threatening to explode the king. But then you could castle. You run away from my queen, right? And if I take this, my queen explodes. I think Clary played really well. I like this maneuver a lot. I like that the bishop comes to a6 and f1 or e2. That's great. I feel like in hindsight I should either push the pawn only to d3 or maybe push my b pawn to b4 and then I have this move to block you, and if you take, the bishop is gone. It's really well played. This is now opening theory. Knight to f3 and pawn f6. If you know this as the first move, then the color will not matter that much because this is winning. If you make it to e5 or g5 with the knight to then capture something near the king, then white is winning. That's why I thought it's unfair. I have all the games with the white pieces. But knight f3, f6, and then you push. If you push as white and try to make it to c4 with the bishop, that will always be just blocked. Interesting. Atomic chess theory. Yeah, it's what it is, folks. I know it's not a very efficient system, but we're trying our best to make it in a way that it's random and anyone has the same amount of chances, the same option, same likelihood to play, hopefully. I think this will be stopped. I don't think I'm achieving much, if anything, but I could explode this side of the board, the rook and the knight. Where's that pawn going? d4. I think my opponent wants to take here because then the queen makes it to d2. Tricky. I shouldn't let that happen. I should not let that happen. I'm gonna... but if I take, my bishop explodes. What a tricky move. I like it. Because if I take here, I explode these pieces, but then black takes here, and my king is in serious danger. Am I lost already there? I don't know how my king could survive. Oh man. So I think I'm gonna have to give up my bishop. No, this is worse! Now queen takes d2 wins the game! This is worse! I wanted to prevent exactly this. I have just lost the game. I should have castled. Thank you for the game. Thank you, man. Oh, I'm learning. I like that when you push the d pawn, you are threatening to open up the d file. So if I take this, everything explodes and this wins. I didn't realize that I'm noticing the threat. So my thinking was, I take here, everything explodes here, then black takes here. Oh, I forgot that the pawn is gone after the capture. Very fun to play this variant. I like it. I like it. Now on to the challenges. Andres is my opponent for this next game. I don't up for Q. Okay, so far so good. This bishop can come here. I'm gonna block it if that happens. Actually, I could do this now so that my bishop can get out. I feel like activating the queen is a really good idea, so maybe I should aim for d5. If d5, lots of things can explode, including this bishop, and I want to open the d5. I'm learning from the previous game. I guess white could try to not take, because if you take, even if his pawn takes pawn, this explodes. So the bishop moves away, I'll block. You can drop it somewhere else. But this is a threat and that explodes the knight. Threatening to win, I'm gonna push so that if it's taken, the bishop is gone. And next move I can take here to explode the knight and threaten queen d2. Why? Maybe they thought more things explode. Pawns don't explode though, so I'll take here and that explodes the knight. Maybe they want to come here, but I'm faster. I'm threatening to win right now. Castle is a good move to prevent this, but now I can try with this move. I'm gonna wait to see how Andres deals with it. I guess there are some options, but not too many. This I don't think is a good option because now I have this move threatening to take. If you move the rook, I take. If you move the king, I play queen g1 and I win the game. So I think after f3, black is winning. I was thinking maybe you should play queen f3 so both queens explode. Probably that was the only good defense, because if you push the pawn, same thing. I get in with my queen and I win. Unfortunately, once the queen gets next to the king, it's over. Thank you for the game, Andres. Sutami, you're my next opponent. Oh no, Sutami, no, that's unfortunately not a good move because I'm gonna take one of these and explode your king. Oh no! It explodes, see those fire emojis? Bang! Thank you, Sutami, for the game. Challenge me, purple. Oh, I see you. Good luck. Oh, that knight is coming here. I should stop it. I should stop it. Okay, that pawn push stops me from pushing, unfortunately. But I can come here. Does that... Yeah, I guess. Because then the queen explodes if it takes me. I think white will push the pawn. But maybe that gives me some time, I was gonna say, to get the queen in there, but it's not that easy to get it in there. If e6 here, you always have something to block. Not that simple. Not so easy to make your opponent's king explode. King and queen, main targets, of course. Now we trade, but with the trade I also take with me the knight. But it's better than exploding the king, so that was a good defense against exploding the queen. This knight is heading toward g5 to explode my king. I should stop that. I can stop it with this move or this move. I don't want to stop it with the pawn push because then my queen will explode too. I think this move, I don't really like pushing the f-pawn, but maybe in atomic chess you gotta do it. e4. If I take, pawns don't explode, it's just... I guess the pawn that I'm capturing and my own pawn explodes. Let's just see so that we know what happens. Oh, both will be gone. Okay, it does show. And shield on the other two pawns. You don't even need to make the move, but you know what happens. That's great to see, actually. How it shows. I'm gonna try to make it to h4 with the queen, but if white blocks, any capture will explode my queen. So a check is usually good, but here, if it's blocked, even if I'm taking a free piece, my queen explodes. White is threatening to take here and explode my rook with it. I think I'll stop it by moving the bishop here so everything explodes. That is, the two bishops explode, but not the pawns. Pawns have a shield. Queen a5 looks good. It looks good as a threat, but if it's taken... Oh, that was a great move, purple! I didn't see this! I didn't see that you can take... How smart. My opponent has been playing and not me. You take the pawn that explodes my bishop. Oh, so I could have... And I should have taken this pawn to explode white's bishop. I'm learning. I missed to win that piece and now I'm losing my bishop. And this is still a threat. So I gotta be careful here. Well played, purple. Well played. That was great. I think queen a5 is not as scary as it looks because white can push the pawn and then... Or maybe what you guys mean is that then try to make it to the light squares. Maybe with those ideas, but now it's too late because the bishop is in the way. I gotta move somewhere else with my queen. I don't have much time. If I move here to try to give the check and move to these squares. The other way is here, but g3 and I can't take the knight because it explodes my queen. Okay, I'm gonna go here and see if this was the idea of the community to then move to the light squares. Even then, I am not winning because you can block. So I don't think it's that easy to make it to your opponent's king. And there are still many pawns on the board. This isn't winning either. Oh, that does win though. Purple. I understand you wanted to chase my queen away, but now I can make it here. Purple, you played so well though. This game, you were doing very well up until here. You just need to stop me. You need to block me from these two squares basically. What you can do is to block this diagonal with the queen or the knight. You can move the knight here, that would explode my queen, or you can move queen here and we trade the queens, both will explode. You can also, I guess you can also push the pawn, but then I'm back here, so pushing the pawn may not solve it, but placing the queen here or the knight here does. Phil! It's you! Oh, I need to make a move. All the best for the game, Phil. All the best. Knight f3 by default, right? First move. It's Phil. Okay, now I'm gonna move this pawn. This knight is coming here, and I don't like that. So maybe it's a good idea to do the zigzag with the pawns. Might be a good idea. It's not really good in traditional chess. If I move the bishop here, black should block me. Which I think they will. I think they will block me. This, if I take, my bishop is gone. And the knight too, so it's a trade. I guess that's good. e6, taking doesn't make sense, so e6 is a good move to block. I was gonna say I should push the open. Maybe I should. Even though it's gonna explode my own bishop too, but it will get rid of the knight as well. I want to open up the position so that my queen can get into the game somewhere from that diagonal. Not that one, I guess, but this one. I'm playing Atomic Chess, which is a game where pieces explode. This would be perfect for Kevin. I'm gonna suggest it for Kevin for next time. And I'll show you in the meantime how this game works. This is not traditional chess. We are exploding chess pieces in this variant. So if I get to move the bishop somewhere near the king, it will explode the king. That's what I'm trying to do. But my opponent has been blocking me. My opponent is blocking me. If I take here, my bishop explodes. So the piece you capture with explodes and everything else but pawns. Pawns have shields. If I take this, look at this. My bishop will explode and the knight. They are gone. Bye! The pawns have shields though. The pawns have shields. I mean, oh no, I'm gonna lose on time if I don't make a quick move. I have 9 seconds left. I have 9 seconds. Yeah, I loved how Kevin did the save when he... Oh, no, I don't want to lose. That queen was about to come here and explode my king. It doesn't matter if you lose your pieces as long as you explode the opponent's king. Those are gone now. Oh no, trade? Shall we trade? This will explode too, but the queen's exploded. Okay, great. Good stuff. My opponent has a wall of pawns blocking everything. How will I get there? How do... Oh my god, everything is gone. How do I get to my opponent's king? How do I make them explode? I'm trying to hunt down the king. Don't lose on time though. I think you can't take... But that will explode my rook. Wait, I won on time? Oh no. Okay, that's the worst way to win. Because it was an exciting position and you were doing so well. I think Phil was winning in terms of material for sure. You're up a piece. So this was the final position. And if you count what I have 2 rooks. My opponent has also 2 rooks, but also a bishop. Bishop Anna. Sebastian, good luck for the game. Oh, I started with the white pieces. I'm going for this. So if you jump out with the horsey, horsey goes brr. You're threatening to go here or here with the horsey, because the horsey jumps in L shape. It does like this. 2 straight and 1 to the left or right. Ooh! I see what you're doing. You want me to take because then my knight explodes. But if I come here, I'm threatening to take this and explode your king. So what happens in atomic chess is that wherever you capture, it explodes everything around it. And I was gonna say that even though this is hanging, in traditional chess, this would be a free piece. And you normally don't want to give away free stuff. But in atomic chess, the piece you capture will also explode. So when the queen takes my horsey, the queen goes bye-bye. Bye-bye. We have won a queen and the queen is more valuable than the horsey. So it's a good trade for me. It is a good trade for me. Now I'm gonna try to get either my bishop or queen out. Because I still want to threaten. Okay, I shouldn't come here because that's now guarded. How about... Okay, this knight is actually threatening to get close to my king too. Maybe I should worry about that. This is normally in traditional chess a bad move because it makes your king weaker. It's more exposed. But in atomic chess, you need to make sure that the horsey doesn't get to jump to your king. Next to your king would explode things if it captures next to it. It might look a bit confusing, but I think with examples, for instance this one, my bishop is threatening to capture the pawn, and if I get to capture it, the king explodes. Everything around the capture explodes, except for pawns, because pawns have shields. But the king would explode. Let's see if Sebastian prevents it. If now, for instance, I take this, my bishop explodes, that pawn is gone, and these pieces too explode. So I think I'll do it because I give up a bishop, but I win all of these. So checks don't matter that much and kings can step next to each other. My opponent is threatening to capture here, and then the pawn and the knight will be gone, but also these pieces. They are about to explode my queen. My queen, no! I should not let that happen. If I move the queen... But I'm just worried that this knight will want to sneak in, and if I take it, then my queen is in trouble. Whatever you take with the queen, it explodes. I'm gonna move here. And I'm threatening to take this pawn, sacrifice my queen, but that queen would take the king down. If I get to capture this pawn, it will explode the king. Now that my opponent has pushed, I am not winning just yet. Because if I take here bad, if my queen explodes without being it next to the king, then I'm just losing my queen for no reason. If I take this pawn, in traditional chess it's free, but in atomic chess it explodes my queen, so it's a bad move. How do I get to the king? It's not easy. It's not easy. If I move here, I think they will push the pawn. This is actually not good for me. And I don't want to move near this pawn because they will explode my queen too. I think I might just have to retreat. This is not good. What I was worried is that if I move somewhere near the c2 pawn or a2 pawn, they will explode my queen. So now I gotta run and I cannot move here or here. I cannot take this either because it explodes my queen. I need to come back here. I need to hide the queen. I need to hide it. Oh no, don't explode my queen. Don't explode my queen. Also, I shouldn't let this rook have an open file because if they come next to my king. Okay, now my queen has... I was gonna say a new diagonal, but it's not making it to it. I need to come here. It's so difficult and I'm only moving my queen. I should develop more pieces. I'm only moving the queen. I was winning earlier. I don't think queen c5 was winning because they could have pushed... Oh, wait! Oh, okay, I understand. You mean after queen c4, d5, then here. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna lose on time if I don't move. I'm gonna lose on time if I don't move. We'll go back to that part of the game after the game. But I think you guys are right. I think that was winning. This too looks very promising because now the king explodes. I had to make that real quick because I had 12 seconds left only. Thank you for the game, Sebastian. Jack, good luck for the game. Good luck, Jack. Okay, we learned that this is threatening with the horsey to jump near the king and then the king explodes. Don't let that happen. Stop the king. Stop the king not, but stop the horsey. Stop the horsey. I was gonna drink from this part of the cup. Better the straw. Okay, e4. My opponent will then use the bishop. I think I'm gonna go super solid. This pawn wall doesn't let my opponent's pieces get to my king. Horsey here. Horsey can then jump here. I might want to prevent that. It's funny how these moves in traditional chess aren't really useful. You shouldn't really do the zigzag. I think when you start out, it might look like it's a pretty pattern, and it is pretty. But in traditional chess, it's not that helpful because you normally want to develop your pieces as soon as you can, and these pawn pushes aren't really helping. For instance, these pieces, they are in the way. Where is my opponent going? Here? Oh, they want to explode a couple of my pieces. I see. How about me threatening them to explode their king? Because if I get to take here, I'm exploding the king. Let's see if my opponent prevents it, and if they prevent... Yeah, this is a good move to prevent it with, because whatever I take, it explodes my queen! My queen! If I come this way, is it too adventurous? You can push and try to chase me? Bah, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna have to be brave. So now if I take this, that explodes my queen. Not good. Anywhere else I go, I'm not really threatening to capture anything. If it's not next to the king, my queen will go bye-bye. So how about hiding it here? Just chilling with the king. The issue is a little bit... Oh, this actually... Knight b6 wasn't the threat because I can take it and the pawns don't explode. This was the threat, and I understand. But that's not a big deal because I can trade. And both the bishop and the knight are gone. My opponent was threatening with that knight to take this pawn next to the king to explode my king. Now it's gone. I know that this wasn't really a particularly good move, but I also thought that my queen from here doesn't really have any good alternatives. I can drop it back here. That's pretty much, I guess, what was a better option. At the same time, until the position doesn't open up, the queen is very difficult to be activated. How do you get the queen into the game if all the captures are bad for the queen. Maybe I should just try to develop my pieces, right? That normally makes sense. Are they threatening this and explode my queen here? I think that's what they want. How about blocking it? Just stopping that? And if it's taken, the knight explodes. Bishop here. If it takes on f6, that explodes my queen. I should block it. I should block it or move the queen, but the queen doesn't really have where to hide. I know I can go this way too to try to explode these, but for now I just wanted to prevent that my queen gets into trouble. If I take this... Oh, that's bad. The d file. I remember this. How about this move? Because now I'm threatening this. My opponent should block it. I'm threatening to win the game. That's a good move. So now we trade. Okay, those are gone. Push here for now and get my pieces out. I don't have any of my pieces developed, so I should do a better job moving them. Why did my opponent take here? Oh, maybe they thought I need to take back? I don't know why they took this pawn. It exploded their knight. The piece you capture with always explodes. So if you take with the queen, whatever you take, it explodes you. Guess I need to take here. That trades. They want to take here. I won on time. I was wondering what happened. It's just the time. I'm sorry for the jack, because you played well. One more game, but don't challenge yet, because we were analyzing this game now. It was really exciting. Jack, you played really well. Oh, okay. Now I understand why you guys said take here. Because my thinking was, nah, I cannot take a pawn with the queen because it explodes my queen, but it explodes everything else. You guys are right. I just don't have my brain programmed to this yet. I'm constantly afraid of taking pawns because even if it's free, it's not free. You're losing your queen. It explodes. I've heard many notifications for the challenges, so let's see who's gonna be my next opponent. Good luck for the game, fun tall kid. Oh, the typical atomic chess opening that we have discovered today. Ooh, where's that pawn going? Are you trying to... Yeah, you're trying to explode things here. The pawns wouldn't, but you want to trade so that the knight can get there. I see what you're doing. Now, how about me going this way with the horsey? If you push, I go here, and I'll explode the king. So I think my opponent will not do that. My opponent wants to move the knight here and explode my king or queen, so I should not let that happen. Another wrinkle here. These pawn pushes are very useful in atomic chess, apparently. Because I can take this and explode here everything. I'll do that. This queen is heading to the h5 square to try to explode my king. But even if it gets here, I push and block. So that's okay. Maybe I should try to develop for once. Normally I don't even develop at all. Will the queen come here and try to explode here, or this and try to explode my king? I think in both cases I can block. This is threatening to explode my king. I'm gonna move here and block. Because if it explodes here, then the queen is gone, but not the king. Not the king. Oh no, the queen is insisting on exploding my king. I think I'll push. I can also, if I wanted to, I could have moved the bishop here too, because the queen cannot take anything unless it takes down my king or queen with it. But thank you everyone for the challenges. I hope that even if you didn't get your challenge through, you're enjoying watching the games and that you're learning a few patterns here and there. That queen is okay there, I don't mind. How about me jumping here? Try to make it with my horsey. It will not make it though, like it will explode these or these. So it's a good move, I guess. Wait, what happened? Okay, just the pawn. I was like, did I miss something? Okay, I can explode these pieces or the rook. I guess minor pieces here make more sense, and that clears the way toward the king, so I could make it to a5. Castle from check, or can you not? Because in traditional chess, that's not legal to castle when you're in check. I wonder what happens in atomic chess. I wonder. Well, we will not know because the king has already officially castled before I gave a check. That's okay. Now they want to take this. But what about me threatening to win the game? The bishop too could have done the same job, I guess. I don't... No, not again. The time! Guys, I'm a slow player. Don't let me win on time. It's gonna be soon midnight here, so I'm gonna call it a day. But thank you for the games! Thank you so much for watching. This was streamed live on my Twitch channel where I stream full time, 5 days a week. Do catch us live next time or follow the highlights and the VODs here on my YouTube channel. In either case, I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much again and bye for now. Until the next time.